Hey guys, I'm here to bring about awareness to an issue called an alpha intrusion brainwave issue in stage 4 sleep. And I'm bringing this about because it's not a circumstance, it's not a condition that's very widely known among the medical community and among a lot of people, but it is a sleep disorder. Out of all the sleep disorders that there are, and there's a lot of them, right? There's narcolepsy, there's various forms of insomnia. There is REM behavioral disorders, which is the kind of thing where people kind of act out their dreams in the middle of their night, where they may be swinging and things of that nature, and sleepwalking, sleep talking. All of those types of sleep disorders, out of all of that, the least understood is this alpha intrusion brainwave issue. And what is alpha intrusion brainwave? Basically what happens is when you get to your restorative sleep, your stage 4 sleep, or your REM sleep, your brainwave, your alpha brainwave gets intruded upon, hence the name alpha intrusion, and it basically knocks you out of your REM sleep. It knocks you out of your restorative sleep and your stage 4 deep sleep. So you don't get the benefits that normal people get when they're in that stage 4 sleep. And we'll talk about those benefits in a little bit. Let me give you a little bit of background what happened to me. Basically in 2010, about four and a half years ago, I started having a lot of issues I thought maybe were related to apnea. I've never been diagnosed with apnea, but I thought maybe that's what it was. I went to the doctor, they asked a bunch of questions. I filled out a lot of information at the sleep center for my health insurance, and I took home a take-home test digital device that basically monitors like breathing and pulse and things of that nature. Took a bath the next day, and it ended up coming back negative, that it wasn't sleep apnea that I had. So I was a little dumbfounded. I couldn't figure out, what's going on. I really thought I had apnea because I had these episodes where I was waking up in the middle of the night just gasping for breath, and I thought that meant that I had apnea. And I was also tired all the time, extremely fatigued no matter what I did. So a sleep study was conducted, did the sleep study, and it turns out that I had this alpha intrusion brainwave issue. And I've been told pretty much ever since that point there really is not a lot that the medical community understands regarding this particular issue. It's a neurological thing most likely, and they just don't understand much about it, and so they can semi-treat symptoms, not very well. They can semi-treat symptoms, but nobody really knows the source. There have been cases where people who have chronic pain or things like fibromyalgia and something related, they can get these alpha intrusion brainwaves for their sleep, but they usually have a very poor quality of sleep. That's really the only link between a condition and the alpha intrusion brainwave that they even know about. The medical community really doesn't understand anything else besides that on what is causing these issues. So, what kind of happens during the 4 stages of sleep? Stage 1 is basically when you're kind of falling asleep. You're not really, you're aware of your surroundings still. You haven't really gone to sleep mode yet. Stage 2 is more of the actual sleep mode, where you're actually starting to get detached from things that are around you. You're getting a little bit unaware of your surroundings, and then you're going into a sleep cycle. Things like your heart rate and stuff start getting regulated, and it kind of prepares your body for the stage 3 and stage 4, which is your deep sleep cycles, and then your REM cycle. After that is where important things happen. That's where your body grows its muscle. It's where tissue starts getting repaired. It's where your body gets restored for its energy levels get restored for the next day, so you can function the next day. All those really important things that your body needs to do, and your cells start repairing things in your body. All that happens during those deep sleep cycles. So if you don't get those deep sleep cycles, or they're getting interrupted, like I do, or someone else who has this issue of alpha intrusion brainwave issues, then you're not getting those benefits, and you're getting some harm done to your body. Doing a lot of research, there's been studies that have been showing people who have sleep deprivation in general, not just alpha issues, but sleep deprivation. Over the course of a week, your body becomes pre-diabetic, and your resistance against insulin really spikes up. So that means your body doesn't process glucose or sugars very well anymore. And so then you kind of have another issue going on. Now you can't process your sugars correctly, which means you could be holding on to your fat stores or gaining weight quickly. That's the situation with me. I work out 6 days a week in order to try and keep the weight down, or to maintain my fitness level and to keep making progress. Because without it, I tend to gain weight extremely quickly. And that's been going on for a number of years, and that kind of makes sense now with the information that I'm seeing now with this alpha intrusion issue. And so that's just in general people who have sleep deprivation. People who have a REM sleep issue, it's compounded on the fact even more. So what are the symptoms? What are the kind of things that I have to deal with and some of you may have to deal with? Usually it's extreme fatigue, extreme tiredness. During certain activities like maybe driving, reading a book, watching TV, talking to people, things like that, you can get these extreme points where you are so exhausted that you feel like you could just lay down on the floor and just go to sleep right there, and not even blink about it. It is that bad. Things like getting up in the morning are extremely difficult. If you have appointments in the morning that you need to make, whether it's for your work, school, a doctor, something to that effect, you'll almost always be late because you always are so exhausted. You have this major tiredness that you're trying to fight against. What's the other problem I just talked about a little bit on that is, your weight loss, your fat gains. You may hold on to your fat source quite a bit because you're not processing your glucose, and your metabolism is then getting out of whack. Things like driving can be very difficult if you have these situations where you're having a day where you just cannot seem to function correctly. You're not really awake, and you may have to take a nap or something in your car before you head out to your destination if you're going home or you're going somewhere. There's been a lot of events that I've had to miss with friends or family, things like that, because you're so exhausted and tired that you just don't want to go. You have no motivation to go, and you feel like that if you did, you would probably fall asleep during the event, and that's how bad it is, and that's happened to me. That's probably happening to you. So your quality of life gets affected quite a bit. People who also have this issue tend to have imbalances with two hormones, your leptin and your ghrelin. Leptin is your appetite suppressant, and ghrelin is your appetite stimulant. And basically your stimulant starts to increase and your suppressant starts to go down during things like late into the night, and that's how late snacking happens. And it's usually on high carb, high sugar based things is what you crave. And people who give into that, that's when you start running into issues where, now you've been snacking late at night, you're already off in your metabolism and your hormone levels, and now all of a sudden you can't process sugars and glucose correctly, and now you just have like this triple effect of things that are going on against you. I tend to personally go with the situation with fitness as much as possible. I work out 6 days a week in order to try and fight this particular problem. It's really hard, and your motivation for things, for life, gets really impacted. A lot of people who have this develop things like depression, anxiety. They can develop even more serious things of psychosis like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia even. Anybody who has sleep deprivation can get these types of things, but even more so once again with REM sleep. So that's what this video is, just to kind of share with you the struggles that I have day in and day out with things like alpha intrusion brainwave issues. No matter how much I sleep, I still feel extremely exhausted. It's really hard some days to function. I try and make it through, I try and push through. Your mentality really gets affected, not just physically, but your mentality as well. But hopefully we can raise a little bit better awareness about, what's going on, and maybe one day the medical community will understand this and come up with an answer. All right, guys, I'm Patrick. Thanks a lot.